Yeah, Pearly Gate fail cam. He thought he was getting in. Yo, apparently the H3 squad are going to be having Ollie London on. Is that true? Is that truthful and apparently they did have him on? Wait a second, we got to take a look at this. Wait a second, hold our horses. Hold our horses. We got to take a look at what happened here, because this is crazy. Mister, I need to get a dick shortening procedure so I can be more Korean. Turn grade A misogynist villain. Grade A misogynist and transphobic villain, number 1 on the Bird app. Breaking news, this happened, it seems this happened about an hour ago. Oh no, never mind. A little longer than an hour ago? I didn't know that they were gonna have him on. Well, they started talking a little under 2 hours ago. But let's take a look. I gotta take a little look. We gotta get a little looky in here.
I mean, I could at least see where that might get crossed over, because you guys do collaborate and are friends or whatever. Makes more sense, at least.
Okay, well, shout out to our boy here. Yes. Okay.
We love
Ollie
boys.
is on the chat. We're graced by the presence of Ollie Oxfree, and let's go ahead and bring him on.
Okay. One moment, please.
We should mute chat for this segment, probably.
Going to.
As we do during interviews.
Going to.
Hi, Ethan. How's it going?
Hello, Ollie.
I watched it. It was
nice
awful.
To
like your
meet you and
outfit.
sit and chat with you.
Nice to see you. I like your outfit. Very French with the hat.
Oh, thank you so much. And I think you look wonderful too. We're kind of doing the same thing with our hats, aren't we?
He's dressed like Justin Bieber from like 2012. Why does he look like that? There's something about his fit that's just do not compare him to a Korean person. That's crazy disrespectful.
Wasn't planned, but yeah.
Let me see your profile. Turn to the side. Let me see how it's looking.
Yeah, Obama Bieber.
Oh, I've actually quit surgery.
No. I mean the beanie. I'm not commenting on yours.
Oh, what? He was trying to give like a look at the face? Oh, I've stopped getting the, just so you know, guys, I've stopped getting the Korean surgeries. It doesn't pay like it used to.
Your surgery.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant my face.
Sitting, you know?
Yeah, no, it's very cool. How's your day so far?
So we're just getting set up here a little bit. So tell me, since
Koreans are fashionable, that's true.
I'm curious.
So I actually quit surgery. Well, my last surgery was last April, but I've completely quit. And
wait, he was still getting the Korean surgeries up to last April? Less than a year ago? From when I figured out that this guy was back? What? He's been clean since then. Yo, what? He hasn't changed his tune at all. He just got here. Just over a year. When we were found out about him, it had been under a year. It's May. I'm not talking about right now. That's why I said when we found him, which is not literally right now. I hate you people.
I'm never going to do surgery again. I had, recently I had a non-surgical facelift, but it's no surgery, it's threads. Because, you can do the same thing these days without the actual surgery. And I was getting to a point even where I would have probably died because I was gone under anesthetic 3 times every year. I was going under anesthetic. So it was like I could have died.
That's crazy.
I read somewhere that you spent
I'm so glad he didn't.
$300,000 on plastic surgery. I've always wondered, where do you get, that's a lot of money. Where'd you get that money?
He said he quit this April? No, he didn't. He said he quit last April.
You should mute chat for surgery.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant my face.
Sitting. We're just getting, when's your last surgery? I'm curious.
So I actually quit surgery. Well, my last surgery was last April, but I've completely...
He definitely means... If he meant the April this year, he would have said this April. Last April definitely means like April last year. It being May makes it seem like he stopped last month. Yeah, but also it's been May for 3 days. If he meant like the surgery that he just... Also, you can't heal from a surgery that quickly. Like he doesn't have any bandages on him or anything. I think he obviously meant 2022. Yeah, he would have said last month, or he would have said like 2 weeks ago, because that's when April literally was.
So I was dressing them in like Gucci and Tom Ford and stuff, and you get a very high commission for that. So basically, I did all that, spent a lot of the money on the surgery.
I see.
And now I've got like a PR company basically helping influencers get publicity and help them get placements in like television and advertisements and stuff like that, and getting them brand deals. And of course, I do my own social media, and I've got a book as well coming out this year.
Right. We'll talk about
that. Is crazy. Okay, so that's what's been going on. So that's what's been going on. That's why, because he's actually been on TV a couple of times. And if you're wondering where, I think it was Fox News and OAN. I think those two places had him on. And I think maybe another like no name, like far right channel that I haven't heard of before had him on as well. So it seems like that's where all that came from. He's not just doing it himself. He found a company to help him catapult himself into the stratosphere and into relevancy again. He just had to, I guess he was just waiting to find a new like minority to scapegoat. Okay.
That, but did you say you dressed members of the royal family?
Not the British royal family. So I'd actually met with Queen.
Oh yeah, the CEO of Dairy Queen wanted me to tailor a suit for him. I'm very close with royalty. Like my team's in connection with Burger King, with the Burger King as you know, as we speak. Technically, they are royalty. He is a queen. You know, he was a bit burly for a queen, but you know, beggars can't be choosers.
Beatrix of the Netherlands, and she shopped with me. She bought some
you hung with the queen? Damn.
Yeah, no, but I met loads of people. I met, you know, the Prime Minister of Thailand, the ex-Prime Minister. I used to shop with his wives and girlfriends.
Wow. It must have been hard to leave that behind because, you know, you moved to South Korea, and we're all familiar with that whole journey. That must have been hard to leave all that behind if you were doing so well.
Actually, that was before. So when I lived in Korea as an English teacher, that was actually before. So it was basically, I was younger. I wanted an experience abroad, went to do some teaching in Korea, and then after I got back to London, I started like getting into fashion. I had some friends doing fashion.
Hey, let's skip forward a little bit.
See, I've struggled a lot with identity, and I had some very unhealthy behaviors, basically due to my addiction to surgery, my body dysmorphia, which later turned into gender dysphoria. So I really struggled with that, and it was unhealthy. And, you know, I completely accept my past. You know, I don't try to deny.
Wait, what? He tried to be like, he tried to be a small Korean girl? Wait, the body dysmorphia turned into gender dysphoria? Wait, so was he trying to be a Korean girl? Yes? Surgery addiction? Well, I mean, that could happen, like cosmetic surgery addiction. Yeah, it could happen.
The person I was, and, you know, I had some kind of bizarre behaviors, basically in an attempt to feel validated and to try and, you know, feel loved, because I really...
That was his whole thing? Being Korean was his thing, not being gender transition.
Really resented.
So I want to get into all those things.
Okay.
I'm really interested in your journey from you identified as a trans woman, right? And then you kind of found God and pivoted to becoming a white British Christian man. Do I have the synopsis correct?
Yeah, it sounds complicated, but yes, so I'm back to being myself now and like finally found happiness.
This meme is very real.
Okay. So I just want to get a few things straight. So are you...
So we transitioned from a small Korean girl to a British white man. Is that correct? Yep. That's basically it. Into a British person. Y'all see that glitch? I think that's on their end. I did see a little bit of that. I think that's on their end. I'm pretty sure.
Do you still identify as gay?
Yes, so I'm still gay, but I have dated girls before, and, you know, I still.
So you're bisexual, kind of more I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
What? Are you gay? Yeah, but I like date women. So you're bisexual? Yeah. All right. See, the thing is, that answer, it makes me think two things. Either he's lying or he's really telling the truth. Because as far as I've seen, you know, like queer people, they're either like, oh yeah, here's exactly all of my shit, and they're like huge nerds about it, and they know all the the homosexual lingo or some shit like that, or they're like, or they're like, hey, do you know anything about trans people? And they're like, I don't know, I'm gay. Is it like being gay? And they're like, I mean, it's like what you want to like transition your gender, and they go, oh, like gender gay. It's either those two things that I've seen from like queer people in real life. So honestly, I'm not sure. The jury's out for me on this one. Bisexual is part-time gay. It is part-time gay. The homo lingo, yeah. Shark, what? Do your homework? No. They scare me. Have you ever been online with like a bunch of with like the in like waters full of like the League of Letters, full of the alphabet mafia? Have you ever been there before? They're like always either trying to kill each other or talking about how they want to kill somebody else. And honestly, I don't want to be in their crosshairs. They worry me. I just let them do their thing. My job here isn't to get to really know them. My job here is to say that they shouldn't be like discriminated against. I just say I'm gay, but it means so much more. You should say gay asterisk then. You should put an asterisk on it. I feel like that could help.
Okay. And you don't identify as Korean anymore.
No, correct.
Obviously. And then also, are you pro gay rights?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm part of the LGBT community. I support people. My issue is just what's happening to children and also the erosion of women's rights. But I fully support people as an adult making an informed decision to change themselves. But I don't support children being medically transitioned.
Wait, I want to hear some stuff. Wait.
Gay rights?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you hate gay people?
I'm part of the LGBT community. I support people. My issue is just.
Did they say LGB? Yes.
What's happening to children and also the erosion of women's rights. But I fully support people as an adult making an informed decision to change themselves. But I don't support children being medically transitioned.
Yes, he said the T, but very quiet. Okay. So is it like LGB and then lowercase t? Like one of those things?
So you do support trans people in general?
So absolutely. So I support, people as an adult making a decision if they want to change and they're happy with that. But I feel that unfortunately the trans movement has been hijacked by a small but growing group of trans activists, which are basically pushing kind of an erosion of women's rights. So that's what I really take an issue with. There's a lot of trans people. I have a lot of trans friends. I know what it's like to be trans that really just want to.
No, you don't. I know what it's like to be trans. No, you don't. What are you talking about? You're a weirdo, bro. You're some freak who wanted to be Asian because you saw a K-pop star once. Okay? You're nothing like them. You don't know anything about them. What are you saying? What the fuck? And this is like some guy from like Ohio saying that he knows what it's like to be black because he played fucking GTA mostly as Franklin. I'll have you know I never changed out the charger. I'll have you know I never changed out Franklin's charger when I played through the GTA 5 story mode, okay? I don't think you get it. I know what it's like to be black. I've listened. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to ADHD on repeat while driving in Franklin's Challenger in GTA 5. I know what it's like. I'm speaking from experience, okay? I support them.
Live their lives, and they're actually having a tough time now because of these trans activists. So my issue is with trans activists and not actual trans people.
Okay.
So true. All of these. There's so many trans people in the real world who are having problems now because a 14-year-old called you ugly and racist on Twitter.
So you say, here's a tweet of yours from just the end of last month, not that long ago, right? Or no? Yeah, it's like from 5 days ago. You say the goal of the trans movement is not simply.
Doesn't seem like trans activists. That just seems like you just talking about trans people in general.
To exist. The goal is to erase women, mutilate children, sexualize kids, take away free speech, class pedophilia as an identity, remove parental rights, indoctrinate kids, violence to obtain, and they're willing to do violence.
Wait, the goal is to violence to obtain goal. Their goal is to violence to have goals. Guys, be very careful around these trans activists. Goals, violence. I am very smart. My goal is goals, and I will violence to get them. I'm very smart. Yeah, it's so true, brother. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I want to see how he does this one. I want to see how he tries to wiggle himself out of this one. I don't hate trans people. It's just a very small percentage of trans activists. Anyways, all trans people in the trans movement want to pedophilia, violence, your gender change, bathroom, Dylan Mulvaney, Bud Light, gender transition, Lupron, sexual hate women, J.K. Rowling. As you see, it's very important
to obtain their goals. So when you say the trans movement, it seems to me that you are speaking generally about trans people having this goal. And when you say trans movement, I don't know exactly what you mean, because it seems that most trans people, or that I've seen, maybe with the exception of Caitlyn Jenner, it seems to disagree with this, seems to identify as being parts of the trans movement. So what is the difference between, what is the trans movement? Who is a member of that?
Man, that's a good question.
So what I'm talking about here is the trans movement in the trans activist movement. So the people pushing these ideologies. So we see every single day, just yesterday,
okay, not explained. What I mean by the trans movement is the movement by the smaller movement that's like a movement within the trans people that is pushing ideas. What the fuck? Well, I mean, that's what happens when you attack an amorphous blob as an enemy for the sole purpose of misconstruing it for the entire group and then throwing them all out at the same time by fucking up language purposefully for your own personal gain. It's wild how that works out.
Texas state capitol was invaded. The trans protesters went there. We see women being attacked at women's rights rallies, physically attacked. And we're seeing this trans activist movement pushing for gender affirming care on kids, which is basically putting 11, 12-year-old kids on very harmful hormones. So that's what I'm talking about. When I talk, I'm not generalizing every single trans person. I'm talking about the current trans movement, which has been hijacked by trans activists. And, I really think that trans people that have been living as a trans person their whole life, they need to speak out against this, because the problem is that the LGBT community is being...
Hey, you other trans people, you got to start speaking out against this. If you don't, we may just have to kill all of you. Hey, if you guys don't start differentiating yourselves now, you're all going in the garbage. Okay, buddy.
Hijacked by these radical...
I love concern trolling.
Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I just want to address things you said already, right? So you say that the people who are demonstrating at the Texas Capitol are part of this trans movement who wants to, sexualize kids and this whole list of things. They were there to protest a bill, SB 14, that would ban gender-related treatment for minors. So these guys are, I guess, see that as an affront, as being transphobic. But you disagree, because what is minor? Anyone 17 and under? Do you believe that ever there would be a 17-year-old that needed gender-affirming care?
So minor is basically classified anyone under 18. And what these people were protesting against was the fact that Texas is trying to pass a law to ban hormone.
Well, it kind of depends, because like in Texas, I'm pretty sure the age of consent is like 16 or 17 for one. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. Some of these things, it is actually different. It's not just under 18.
and puberty blockers and gender reassignment surgery being administered to children, basically. So, I think these people, firstly, that was an unlawful protest. You can't just go into a state capitol and do that. And if they want to have
Are you in favor of only lawful protests?
Well, I think, people need to follow the law. And if they want to have a protest, they can have that dialogue. But outside the State House, you can't just storm in a State House. I mean, it's comparable to January 6th when people stormed the Capitol, which was unlawful as well. So I think, these people were not protesting about their rights being taken away. It's the fact that they were protesting against a bill that would have actually protected children. So I think that's really harmful.
Some would say that it's actually harming kids' rights to make it illegal to do this because, as you probably know, or I think you did at one point.
Protect them from who? Bro, apparently not protecting them from themselves because with these fucking people. I mean, we don't have to go through the big list of conservative PDFs, do we? I mean, like they're the only genuinely it still blows my mind, okay? And I'm saying this as a religious person, that these people are like, oh, all of these queer people are like huge PDFs, bro. They want to sexualize all these children. When, like, I'm sorry, all these stories of like 200,000, 50,000, 80,000 children being like sexually abused aren't happening at like drag shows. Okay? They're not happening at drag shows. They're not happening at drag queen story hour. They're not happening in sex. It's not happening in sex ed class. It's not happening in any of these places where they say it's happening, but all the places where they tell us not to look, like, it keeps happening. It's kind of weird how that works out, isn't it? Also, Ollie defended Jake Shields, the guy who said that we need to be executing doctors who perform gender affirming care. Yeah, I mean, they're simply bad people who want to tone it down once they get people to dislike them. Well, once they're around people who aren't as criminally, clinically insane as them.
Point is that gender affirming care on children is exceedingly rare. It's actually so rare that if to express like irreversible gender changes on children is something like, I've got the number here, 0.000493% of U.S. children aged 6 through 17 go through irreversible gender changes. So I guess I'm just curious, because in the cases where they do undergo it, it's usually to save their life, right? Because they might be suicidal or yeah, right? And they go through like panels, they go through multiple rounds of talking to psychiatrists and doctors. So I guess I'm just curious, why is it you think that this is threatening kids instead of actually helping kids who are?
I don't know. This is an interesting question. I do really think he should have like stuck on the what in the world is the trans movement, because I don't think he actually gave a good answer to what is the trans movement. Actually, I don't think he gave a good answer at all. This could be one of those things where like you ask him and then you have him and then you have him just kind of like waffle and then you have to move on to the next thing. You can't just like stick on one thing, all day. You can't drill into everything, which is possible. We just don't do talks like that. Typically, when we talk, we can like we can bust some shit up. We can like dig into things. Here, maybe not necessarily, which is fine. I mean, sometimes just letting them kind of flounder is also pretty good as well.
At high risk of hurting themselves.
So, Ethan, about 10 years ago, when gender-affirming care was performed on whether that was minors or adults, there was a lot of checks and balances. Now it has become so easy. So they don't have the psychiatrist appointments anymore. They don't have, having to wait several years to transition. Now it's a very fast-track process. And that's the real issue, because many of these teens, and we're seeing thousands of teens being transitioned and put on hormones. The number's really gone up in the last few years. Many of these teens are struggling with other issues. There's a high case, around 1 in 6 of these children have autism. They're being misdiagnosed. There's also kids with depression, bipolar, and they're being told all of these issues must be because they're in the wrong gender, and they are being fast-tracked. There was a case in...
Fast-track gender transition? Bro, where? I know a lot of... I feel like I got a lot of people in my community who would love to know about that. Like your fast-track gender transition. What did they do that thing where it's like, do you have to go to Las Vegas? Is there like a really cool magician there who can like put a curtain around you on stage and then it goes up and comes back down and poof, you can like change genderino, just like that? Amazing magic, incredible things. Also, like, being autistic doesn't make you trans. You don't get misdiagnosed for being trans simply because you're autistic. What are you talking about? Yeah, anybody got that trans flavored autism? Anybody got that trans flavored depression in chat? Hey, that's because that's definitely where it came from. Sure, autism could definitely be exacerbating some problems that you have if you have gender dysphoria. It could be depression, could be because you have gender dysphoria and you're not transitioning. But to simply sit here and say, like, unironically to the camera, like we're all stupid, that like, oh, the big problem here is because the problem here is because they're autistic. They're getting misdiagnosed because they're autistic. You're dumb. You have no clue what you're saying, bro. Sit down. This is like when Matt Walsh was like, yo, did you remember when he was on Joe Rogan and he was like, hundreds of millions of billions of trillions of kids have been completely had their cocks pulled off by the radical transgender mafia. And then they were like, hey, Jesse, can you pull that up real quick? And they were like, and he was like, there were like 100 kids who got surgery. And he was like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
In Missouri at the St. Louis Children's Hospital, and basically a whistleblower unveils that they only required like one session with a therapist to get a child on hormones and puberty blockers. So that's the issue when a system is being exploited. And there's been trans people forever throughout history. There's so many examples of trans people. But the thing is now is, previously, as difficult as it was, because it's so hard when you're trans to struggle and to think every day that I'm trapped in the wrong body. It is horrific to go through that. But the problem is, years ago, they would have 2 to 3 years they would have to undergo of psychiatrist appointments, doctor's appointments in order to qualify for a transition. Now it has become so easy, and there are thousands of kids being fast-tracked and put on hormones, prescriptions, and some kids can now go to states like Colorado or Washington State, which have become sanctuary states. And they don't. I want
to actually address what you said about them.
Yeah. So he just keeps mixing stuff up. We were talking about surgeries, and now he's on like, oh, you can get some hormones, and what he means by some hormones is that you can probably get puberty blockers without waiting 17 years in between, like when you can like get between like when you can like get between you like walking in the door and you like getting puberty blockers, which is different than getting estrogen or testosterone. It's just like very different. It's simply very different, and depending on the brand and like the chemical makeup of the puberty blocker you get and how long you're on it, yes, you can absolutely get off of it again. And I don't know, just like all of these people, and then what they'll run to after this is try to pretend like you'll have like no clue about any of the possible side effects. What have you guys ever gotten medicine that you could just let me know? Have you, because this hasn't happened to me, so I gotta like look to other people, even though like me and my family have gotten like a lot of medication prescribed to us over our entire lifetimes. Have you ever in your like entire life gone to the doctor and then they prescribe you medicine and they don't talk to you about the possible side effects? Has that ever happened? Have you gotten like a really big, like kind of important medicine, like heart medicine, like kidney medicine, and they just like, they're like, here you go, and they say fuck off? They don't tell you about side effects at all? I think that's illegal. Yeah, right? Yeah, it's almost like that. It's almost like that doesn't happen. It's almost like that really doesn't happen. It's crazy how that works out. All meds have side effects, and they always mention it. Like, I was recently getting my ADHD medicine, and like I would imagine it's even worse for like other medicines, like higher acting medicines that you have. Like they when I go to the pharmacist, they staple like a pamphlet of problems that could happen when taking this medicine. Every time. Yes, but conservatives can't read, so that doesn't count. Yeah, apparently they can't listen either, because like every time I've been prescribed medicine by my doctor, they're always like, they do the little rundown of problems that could happen. But okay, makes sense.
You had said something about Jamie Reed's allegations, right? But that was debunked, right? Because the parents and the children there who actually were attending that facility actually told a completely different story. Have you read their account of that?
Yes, so I saw recently that they did an internal investigation. They said it wasn't true, but no, I don't believe that.
Well, that seems significant.
Yes, but I don't believe that at all, because
you don't
they're trying to cover their back.
You don't believe the internal investigation?
No, because there were multiple parents when the Daily Caller originally did the interview of Jamie Reed. There were multiple parents that said basically their kids weren't looked after once they left the clinic. There were no checks and balances, and there were parents confirming that. So, I believe the investigation has a lot of bias because it's done by the clinic and they're profiting.
So the internal investigation.
Yes, but the Daily Wire has no bias, none. Actually, the Daily Wire is one of the least biased public. Sorry, I almost used the N-word. The N-word. One of the most biased publications out there. Crazy.
Investigation
or the least biased.
Said there was no.
Or do you say Daily Caller?
The patient said there was no wrongdoings. So I guess I'm just curious. The people who are claiming that there was something wrong there is like the Daily Caller, Tucker Carlson. Are you saying that they don't have a bias?
Well, I mean, a lot of people have a bias and stuff, but, we have to look at these gender clinics as a whole. Project Veritas exposed multiple clinics the other day of talking about medically transitioning 8 to 11-year-olds. So we have to acknowledge that this is going on in a lot of clinics, and a lot of these clinics are trying to cover their backs by trying to paint a rosy picture that it's perfect,
Did you say
fine.
Project Veritas?
Yes, they did an undercover investigation.
That's the guy who got ousted for being like a sex criminal and like scam artist, James O'Keefe. That's his organization, right?
Yeah, also having drug sex parties where people shit on the floor. That's another one. Yeah, stealing a sandwich from a pregnant lady, caught on camera lying about not sending people to other news organizations to try to plant like liars and fiends. Also found out to have no journalistic integrity whatsoever through like antagonistic undercover operations. Yeah, also being investigated by the FBI for possibly stealing personal property to the that belonged to the president's daughter. It's just like a lot of issues going on at P Veritas. Oh yeah, and also he's fired.
He's not part of that organization now. So the organization that left, Project Veritas, the original organization, did this investigation.
They don't have a lot of credibility, Veritas. It seems like every investigation they do is just chock full holes of untruths and just blatant lies. I don't think it's a very credible institution for pulling data from.
Well, there's multiple organizations like Project Veritas that do.
Which other ones?
Like what?
So Gays Against Groomers, I'm ambassador for them. They are.
Yes. Other very unbiased news publications like Gays Against Groomers, who specifically are attacking trans people because they don't like them in the movement. They think they makes them look bad against the hetero normies. Very reputable source. Everybody has their biases.
Also exposing this happening in clinics. Mm-hmm.
Gays Against Groomers. So have
you heard of that?
I haven't, but who's the groomer then?
So basically, Gays Against Groomers is an organization of hundreds of LGBT people. It includes trans people as well. Basically, this organization is calling out the harms. They're doing investigations of gender clinics, calling out the harms of doing this to kids. Because look,
where's
we
the
get that
grooming come in though? That's the part that I find like really inflammatory.
What is that word?
Grooming implies
that
trans people or trans activists, and it's what you said here in this tweet, that they're pedophiles, that they're sexualizing kids. So where's that evidence come from? Because it's one thing to say we're against, gender affirming care for minors, but it's a whole different thing to say, they're grooming.
Well, that word is basically used because we're seeing many drag shows, like adult drag shows, where kids are attending, and it's very sexually explicit. So that is a form of grooming. We also see these kids' books in public.
No, what are you talking about? Are these people pedophiles? Is their job to dilute what the word grooming means to the point where it just doesn't mean anything anymore? Grooming is when you do things around people who are younger than 18 I don't like. And the more I don't like it, the more grooming it is. And when it's ideologically opposed to me at this moment in time, then it's pedophilia and you should be murdered. That's what they're doing. They're literally trying to label all trans people as pedophiles so they can justify saying that they should kill them. That's just what they're doing. That's it.
Libraries and in schools where they're teaching kids about drag and being trans. That's not a subject that kids should hear. So that is a form of grooming because it's indoctrinating kids.
I've heard, I know that there was that one drag show with kids that was kind of a hot button issue. What other examples can you think of drag shows with kids involved where they're being groomed?
So there's, in the last year, there's an investigative journalist, Taylor Hanson. He's exposed at least 20 drag shows in Texas that are called all ages drag shows. They're called all ages drag shows, and they're basically doing sex acts on stage. They have breasts. They're doing very.
They have breasts.
This meme is very real.
No, dude. No, it can't be. No, they have breasts. This can't be real. This can't be happening. They have breasts. Holy shit. Oh man. Next you're gonna tell me is that they have butts as well. Don't say it ain't so.
Appropriate things. So no, it's just.
So hold on, sorry, Ollie. You're making so many claims, and I just want to get to each one. You mentioned an organization, Gays Against Groomers, which was founded by Jamie Mitchell. Is that right? So Jamie Mitchell and their partner are ultra MAGA Trump followers, and there's nothing wrong with being a Trump supporter, but they're also anti-transgender. They spread
I disagree.
Transgender propaganda with QAnon conspiracy theories, and interestingly, the founders are straight. So how is it that they can make a gays against a groomers organization when they themselves are not even gay? That seems disingenuous.
They're the groomer, obviously. What are you talking about? It's gays and there's groomers, and so everybody's got to play their role. It's like cops and robbers.
Well, firstly, that's a Wikipedia page. Wikipedia has a lot of bias with the woke people that write on
Jamie Mitchell,
it says things that I disagree.
She's gay. She's a lesbian. All of the people you have.
She's
to
a
be
gay
LGBT
lesbian
to be a member
How do they check
of Gays Against Groomers. So
How do
there's
they verify the credentials?
No, I mean, if someone says they're gay or bi, you accept that. You don't say, "Oh, can you prove that you're gay? How can you prove that?" So,
Wait! How do you say this against trans people then? Huh? It's like, oh, I could, okay, Mr. Ollie London. So I could just stroll into Gays Against Groomers and I could be like, hello, sir. It is me, Mr. Homosexual Gay Boy Supreme. All right, that's my full legal name. I would like to be let in. I am a gay, completely against the groomer. All right, I'll tell you, I haven't taken a shower in months. I don't groom at all. Let me in. I'm very normal and can be trusted around your sensitive information, logins, and company email. Let me in. Let me in. Hello, fellow gays. Hello, fellow homosexuals. I'm glad to be here. I love you all. Slay, isn't that right? How did you all enjoy last night's episode of RuPaul Drag Race? Anybody watch that Ice Spice concert? Very good. Mother, I will say. I love being here with my fellow homosexual friends. Gayness, cool, is it not? That's just a white voice? Of course. No, actually, it's the cop voice, but capo. Men and balls, penis sucking. Very nice. Very nice. Wait, wait a sec. Is it like he like infiltrates the Gays Against Groomers HQ, and it's like that scene from American Psycho? All right, boys. Let's see those cocks. Nice. Let's see Paul Allen's cock. Oh my God. Bent 40% off the shaft with a 17-degree curve upwards. Oh my God. The glands are huge. The tasteful thickness of it. Drops it. You okay? Hello, sir. Oh no, my mom's here. Oh fuck, guys. Go. The game's over. Debossed, embossed. Wrinkles so pronounced you could do a palm reading. Dear God. Anyways, okay. Anyways. Let's see Paul Allen's cock. Remarkable off-white coloring. The superficial veins frame the shaft perfectly. Dear God. His cock's great. Has a complete breakdown in this seat. Anyways. I'm having too much fun. You're always on some bullshit. Why am I not on bullshit? I've never bullshitted. What are you talking about? I've never, not once. No, not never, for never ever. Okay, I've never done it. Anyways, what were you talking about?
Amy Mitchell is a lesbian. All of the members are lesbians, trans. It's not anti-transgender at all. They support people being trans as an adult, but what they're trying to do is calling out the harm that we're seeing caused to children, and that's the real issue here. Is about protecting kids.
So go back to your claim about grooming. So you brought up the drag show for kids. Is there any other examples, or are we just talking about drag shows? Because I have to assume that the drag shows, even if it's as widespread as Project Veritas claims, which heaven knows how credible they are, there's got to be other examples to make such bold claims, is that there's a whole movement trying to sexualize kids.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at the music industry, you have really shocking performances like Sam Smith, for instance, who is pushing a specific agenda. He has concerts which are allowing all ages. And, you know, if you want to be a musician, do whatever you want, but don't be doing sexually graphic things. He's doing imitating blowjobs. He has, you know, fetish gear on, and there's kids in the audience. So it's not just about drag queens. It's about protecting kids in general. So even if it's Cardi B, you know, I don't think kids should be at a Cardi B concert if she's twerking or doing like something very, very sexual. I think it's just about protecting
grooming.
Kids.
I mean, but
well, what about, like, what do you mean? Well, for one, a lot of these events are specifically made for adults, for one. And two, like, I don't know, man, I really think like a 16-year-old will probably be okay if they see like a Cardi B concert on the TV. I honestly, I think they'll probably live. That's just me though. Stream still working? I've dropped 40 frames in the last hour and 41 minutes, so that's on your end, partner.
You know, you turn on the TV, I mean, you see stuff worse than that, right, on YouTube and stuff. To say they're grooming them seems pretty disingenuous and actually really homophobic and transphobic to put this label that they're groomers, because you understand the gravity of such a claim, right?
Well, it's a very loaded word. I get that, but it's not an attack on the LGBT community at all. It's about basically calling out specific cases. It's not an attack on trans people, calling out specific cases where children are being exposed to something that's highly inappropriate and trying to raise awareness of that. So it's not a label that's attached to gay people.
Okay, then say it's inappropriate. You made up the term groomer because you wanted to call them pedophiles. That's not, oh, this is a bit strange, or I don't like this, or this could not be great. Then just, you wouldn't be making a whole movement about this if you simply thought it was a little inappropriate. You're calling these people pedos. And it's either two things. Either you're lying or you think pedophilia is a little inappropriate, which I think raises some massive red flags. But don't you guys think, one in chat, if you said, you know, PDF files, and they go, and the response that somebody gives you is, yeah, a little inappropriate, wouldn't you be like, what do you mean a little inappropriate? would you be like, what do you mean by that? Right? Yeah, a little inappropriate. What do you mean by that? Yeah, it's just strange. Personally, I think it's a little bit more than a little inappropriate, you know. But you know, elaborate. I'd rather them not. I'd rather them check into the local maximum security penitentiary. Personally, but you know, that's just me.
People, lesbians, trans people. It's literally about calling out specific instances.
I want to ask you about something specific. Actually, since you bring it up, I have seen something troubling from a trans person that I thought was kind of gross. They were selling, it was like a kid's t-shirt with a trans person on it, and then they had like kids' toys with trans people on it, and it was kind of gross and groomy. Have you seen anything like that before?
You know, I've seen T-shirts that the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota wore, protect trans kids with a knife on it. You know, things like that. I've seen T-shirts that says protect trans rights with AK-47s on it and stuff. And, you know, I don't think that's helpful messaging and that's just trans activists.
Look, I hate it when the people who I'm trying to stomp into the dirt say they'll use weapons to stop me from stomping them. I don't think that's very helpful. Bro, then stop trying to kill them. Stop trying to kill. What are you going to say this to the people who are wearing the whole goddamn Gatson flag, or like, I'm going to protect my family with my goddamn AR? Like, what are you talking about, man? It just seems like you hate the idea of minorities protecting themselves more than anything else.
By the way, Ethan, this is a small number of people, and that's who I'm calling out. That's who Gays Against Groomers are calling out. It's not the trans community as a whole. Specific trans activists who have hijacked the trans movement.
So
If you're quiet and docile, if you're a quiet and docile trans, then we may let you go. Women will think about letting you go. All right, buddy. Sure, I guess. Republicans literally give their kids guns. Yeah, that's like their favorite thing in the world is to give their like children firearms. If you're really quiet and you're very good, then we'll let you go.
Actually, you know what's interesting, Ollie? If you go to your website right now, your merch website, I was actually talking about your merch. You are actually selling kids' lunchboxes with a picture of you depicted as a trans woman, and you're selling
No,
it.
that's
You depicted as a trans woman. Looks female, bro. Bro, Ethan logged on and said looks female enough. Ollie squad merch. Ollie, what do you do for anybody to be on your squad? What do you have to? Is it like a rappers how, you know, but like instead of giving the people in their like crew like a Cuban link to show their like loyalty to the crew, what like he flies you out and makes you get facial Korean surgery or something? You have to do the transracialism surgery to get on? Oh no.
That's not a trans woman. That's not a trans woman. That's just a K-pop picture of me.
A K-pop picture.
Okay, because this is you. I had a feeling you would say that because here it is, you wearing that design, and it's pretty obvious to tell that this is depicting you. This is from
correct.
just like a month ago, and this is when you were trans.
My merch.
Yeah. So do you think it's appropriate to sell this to kids?
Well, it's a lunchbox with a picture of a K-pop cartoon.
Well, it's you as a trans. It's you as.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Wait, yo, what the? Wait a second. They were doing some real research back there. Wait, they were digging. Hello? Wait a second. With that money that they just got from that like huge fallout with their MCN, did they spend that money on some goddamn shovels? Cause those bros were digging to find that. You were digging. They're pushing all this transgenderness on all these children. It makes me sick. So here's you literally selling a lunchbox with you being transgender on it to children. Do you think that's okay? Yo, that's wild. I love these guys. That's crazy. I love these guys. Yo, heck, whoever said that H3 is falling off. Whoa, yo, what the fuck? This is they've fallen on. That's wild.
As a trans woman.
It's me as a K-pop star. It's nothing to do with being trans or not. That's just a cartoon of me as a K-pop star. So it's not. But that's not inappropriate.
Right, but at the time you were a trans woman.
Correct. At the time I was a trans woman, but there's nothing inappropriate.
So it's you
with
as
that.
a trans woman.
That I was a trans woman at the time. That picture does not depict me as a trans woman. It depicts me as a K-pop star. But
I find that interesting.
Oh, as you see, yes, I was a trans woman, but I'm not being depicted as a trans woman. I'm being depicted as a K-pop star. Is that another gender, Ollie? Is that another? Is there? Have I fallen asleep? Oh, I know I slept for a little long yesterday. Like that day, I wasn't on Twitter much. Did I miss the queer council coming out with K-pop gender? Did they recently just drop K-pop gender and I missed it? Because I'm pretty sure you can be trans and a K-pop star at the same time. Unless you're, and in that case, you would also still be trans because you'd be transitioning from boring British white man to long-haired K-pop star. You can't get out of this one. What is this? Oily, what happened? Oily, what happened?
You're willing to make that separation when you're making such general claims about the groomers and stuff, because to me, by your own definition, this is pretty groomy. And even if you go, and this is all on, well, hold on, Ollie, hold on one sec. Even if you go on your website right now, you're selling the same graphic, Ollie London, Ollie Merch Squad, as you depicted as a trans woman. And if you look at the available sizes, it's just kids.
What? What? Wait, what? And they're all youth sizes? Wait, they're all youth sizes? 3 to 4? Who's putting? He's literally doing an Agayo face. He's doing the hento. He's doing the hentai face. He's doing the agihao. What in the world? What in tarnation? You're putting your 4-year-old in this? You're selling them to preschool in this? The facial face. Not the cum tribute face. You can't do this to me. What in the world? Pedocon theory. Kids t-shirts in stock. Will print soon. Delivery time at the end of the year? What? August? That's not August. That's September. Oh wait, no, this may be backwards. Oh, it's British date, so it's backwards. That's what I was thinking. This may be backwards. So like in a month. It's a K-pop cartoon. Kids t-shirt. Yo, what the hell? It's not even just like kids too. It's 7 to 8. 7 to 8. All right.
4? Do you think it's appropriate for a 3 to 4-year-old to buy this shirt?
Yeah, of course. Any K-pop fan, if they want to buy my merch, they're absolutely entitled to. There's nothing inappropriate with that merch at all.
That is a
very
trans
nice.
woman, Ollie. You're not understanding your own logic.
You're clutching at straws.
How am I? You were okay. Hold on. Let's follow this through. You were a trans woman when you made this. There's a picture of you wearing it. It's obviously you as a trans woman. Here's you as a trans woman, and here's you as a trans woman on the shirt, on a kid's shirt. How am I clutching at straws?
But you're clutching at straws. It's an innocent cartoon. It doesn't say anything about.
Oh, it's an innocent cartoon. I wasn't having sex with children on the shirt, officer. as you see, officer. You know what would only make this even better? You know what would make this even better? Is if the person who he commissioned for that shirt is like a lolly. Like a lolicon. That would be the only thing that could possibly make this send it over the moon for me. Because that would be crazy. I don't know what I would be able to do with myself after that. Yeah, this is the magic star. Is this your wallet? This is your wallet, right? No.
The tongue is somewhat sexual. How the tongue is out like that, it's a little disturbing.
Blushing, tongue out.
Ethan, come on, I'm doing a K-pop pose.
The agihao.
No, why is the tongue out? I find that a little provocative.
Ethan, it's a cartoon. You're just trying to make.
Well, I don't know because you're well. No, I'm not trying to make a joke. I think this is a somewhat serious issue to resolve here because I'm being serious, Ollie, because let's at least be consistent. If we're going to accuse people of grooming kids, and which you have made a short-lived but somewhat profitable career of doing, then I think we need to, we need to get on top of this. I just don't think it's appropriate to be selling lunch boxes with a trans woman on it.
Lunchbox. Even if that lunchbox had something inappropriate or sexual, that would be wrong. But this is an innocent cartoon of me doing a K-pop pose.
Wait, what's the difference between this and him and wait? What's the difference between this and Dylan Mulvaney and the Bud Light? Wait, he's one of the big. We gotta cancel Bud Light because they work with Dylan Mulvaney. What? How is this any different? You're literally selling something for children. Unless you live in Mississippi, children aren't drinking Bud Light. What? Yo, what? What? K-pop pose. Yeah, bro hits the agihao face. Japanese, mind you. And he's like, it's a K-pop pose. The K stands for Korea. I'm not sure. Does he think that K-pop is Japanese? Yeah, so yesterday I was watching a bunch of hentai and I was like, bro, this is just like K-pop. All right, buddy.
There's nothing wrong with that particular picture. If it was inappropriate or in a sexual way, that would be completely wrong. And of course,
what is inappropriate?
But that's an innocent drawing of a cartoon, Ethan.
Do you think it's appropriate for a drag queen, for kids to buy, let's say a kid's at a drag queen show, that's grooming. And let's say they are selling lunch boxes to the kids with a picture of a drag queen on it, doing a cute pose or whatever, right? Not sexual, but they're in drag. Do you think it's appropriate for a kid to carry that lunchbox?
Well, I think it's appropriate if a kid's at a drag show that's inappropriate, because some drag shows are generally not inappropriate.
Okay, so some drag shows are appropriate and some aren't.
Correct. It's about doing some. No, correct. It's about if you're going to do anything in front of kids, it should be PC. It should not have anything sexual.
Oh my gosh, the backpedaling.
Are doing sexual things, so kids should not be there. If the merch is there and it's a show that's sexual, they shouldn't be there in the first place.
Okay, this is interesting. So you're saying it is okay for kids to go to drag shows?
I'm not saying that at all. I don't think they should in general, but I'm just saying...
If they're not sexual, and I would assume it's not because it's for kids, right? I mean, if they're doing sexual stuff, I would consider that Obviously, everyone would consider that inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe you've just said drag shows are safe for kids. In fact, you would even be okay. Well, hold on. You even said you'd be okay with them carrying a drag show lunchbox.
No, look, I just don't think kids should be anywhere that is putting ideas into their heads. You know, if a show is innocent, you know, that's obviously better than it being a sexual show, but I still don't think kids should be exposed to gender ideology.
So, but what about this lunchbox you're selling to kids?
It's just, this is crazy to me. This is just wild to me. It's different because children drink Bud Light. That is true. Children drink Bud Light, but adults use lunchboxes. I mean, what are you, some sort of cringe city leftist who goes to your typewriter cafes? Fucking loser, huh? What are you gonna be drinking your yuzu lemonade, huh? You've never worked on a construction site? They have lunchboxes. You wouldn't get it. Children experiencing life is dangerous. It is. It is, unless I can make money off of it. Then it's based.
And that has nothing to do with any kind of ideology. It's a K-pop picture, so
yeah. But you're in drag in the picture. You're trans.
I'm not in drag.
Well, you're trans. Sorry, yeah, you're right. You're not in drag.
By his definition, yes, he'd be in drag.
I misspoke. You're trans. You're a woman. You're expressing yourself as a woman on the box.
It's just a cartoon, Ethan. I don't know why you keep going on about it's a cartoon.
It's just a cartoon. I mean, I feel like you're trying to downplay the significance of this, Ollie. I'm just afraid that some of the people that you associate with might consider this grooming by your own standard. I'm just looking out for you and your reputation.
It's just silly, Ethan. It's an innocent cartoon. If it was an inappropriate picture, that would be wrong.
Okay. What do you make of this picture? Are these kids in danger? Your thoughts?
But I haven't seen the video of that particular show, and it depends what book they're reading. If the drag queen is,
bro, he's reading. What are you talking about? Can you not see? Are you stupid? Have you never seen a book before? I think this is a British book, isn't it? Isn't the Rainbow Fish a British book? Bro, do you not know anything about your culture either? He's stupid. Oh no, he's stupid. Fairly sure, yeah. Yeah? It's a good children's book. Personally, for me, my favorite children's book was When You Give a Mouse a Cookie. Personally, that one went so hard. But that's just me, though. That's just me. If you give a mouse a cookie, that one went crazy. The Dr. Seuss one with Thing 1 and Thing 2, when they were riding around in the hullabaloo, and that guy's in like the fucking, with like the kids or some shit like that. And they made a huge mess, and they had to like clean it before their mom comes home and beats them. I thought that one went pretty hard, not gonna lie. The one about the caterpillar, that one also went pretty hard. Yeah, the very hungry caterpillar, that one went so hard. The Cat in the Hat, so true. Yeah, it went absolutely wild. Anyways, I'd have to see what book they have. You know for a fact Ollie would tweet this shit out and be like, this person needs to be killed for their grooming. You know this for a fact. Baby. Bro, this one isn't even old enough to remember what happened.
Appears to be depicting some fish. It's a couple of fish in the ocean. It seems
this is the rainbow fish.
The rainbow fish. It seems to be the rainbow fish, Ollie.
Well, I think a lot of these books are pushing even subtle messages on gender ideology, trying to tell
the rainbow fish is pushing gender ideology on children. What, you can transition to fish? That's crazy.
You should be trans and become LGBT.
Oh, it has a rainbow on it. You're right.
On their own. So if that book is teaching them about transitioning or becoming a drag queen, that's inappropriate.
It's
and that's
the rainbow
for fish.
Yes, but I haven't read the book. I can't see what the book is. So
you don't know what the rainbow fish is?
Does that book contain subtle messaging that's trying to tell kids to change their gender when they shouldn't be thinking about things like that? And in Florida, they've obviously banned books in a classroom that teach gender ideology. And there's a lot of books, kids' books. There's a book called The Gay ABCs, and that pushes gender ideology. For 2-year-olds, it's 2+, and I don't think that's appropriate for a kid that just should be reading kids' books that are completely innocent. They shouldn't even be...
What do you make of this? What do you make of this lunchbox, though?
Why did you keep going back to the lunchbox?
Well, because it's got a picture of a trans woman on a kid's lunchbox. It's
got a picture of a K-pop star on the lunchbox.
Who's the K-pop star? Who's the K-pop?
Come on,
it's you, right?
It's me.
It's you. And this K-pop star is a trans woman, right?
I was trans at the time. The image doesn't necessarily depict any kind of gender.
So you're saying, did the photo of you?
It's not even a photo of me. It's literally a cartoon. I had an anime.
It's a cartoon. Right. It's an anime.
Right.
Which is also Korean, just so you know.
Sorry?
Would you buy it for your kids?
I mean, I
Would you
wouldn't
find it
want. I wouldn't just because I don't want to support you financially. But
Okay.
but theoretically, I don't think I have a problem with. No, I wouldn't have a.
Oh my man. I don't want to give you money, bro. But I mean, if it was like a good person, then sure. Why not? Not you, but like a good person.
Problem with my children.
It's anime.
Looking up to a trans person, of course not. What would be wrong with that?
And
We love
I don't
trans.
have a problem
We
with
love trans.
people at all. I'm just saying that certain things, when it comes to gender ideology, if transgenderism is being pushed on young kids in preschool or even elementary school when they shouldn't be thinking about that, I think it's wrong to expose them to that. I think
Exposing them to
kids
trans
discover who they
people.
are.
Exposing them to trans
Sorry?
people, like this lunchbox is. Right.
You're really obsessed with that lunchbox.
Well,
You need to get one.
no, but I think it's a really important point that you're not, coming to terms with. We're exposing kids to a trans woman. Don't you think that's wrong? Why is it still on your website, at least?
It's come on, Ethan. I don't know what to say. It's a cartoon of a K-pop star.
I can't
It's
defend
a little
this at
anime
all.
drawing. It's nothing. If I was doing something,
It's anime.
if I had, protect trans kids on there, that would have a message. That would have a loaded gender ideology message. But it literally says Ollie Squad with a cartoon of me doing the peace sign. It's like super cute, super innocent.
Tongue out.
Just like most K-pop stars are like super cute, Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, aren't you making like the Higo face a little bit?
What, do you think I should make it more masculine?
No, the Higo face is like some kind
A Higo. Not the Higo, bro. He said it right up to he don't miss, bro. He don't miss. No, I did not pre-watch. I literally couldn't have pre-watched. I just got here. Very cute. As you can see, very cute K-pop face. I love it when my K-pop stans do this, right? Personally, I don't listen to a lot of K-pop, but when Momoland comes on and they drop this, I think it goes crazy personally. Asiago? Yeah, just like, yeah, apparently it's not just a bagel, as weird as, or I guess it's apparently Asiago isn't just like a bread topping, but apparently it's also like a weird thing that happens in hentai. It's a porn thing that happens in hentai. It's crazy. Can't forget about the Agio sweatshirt. So true. So true.
of hentai thing, isn't it?
I have no idea.
That's when you cross your eyes and stick out your tongue.
He said, I don't watch anime. Wait, no, you're lying to me. He didn't just say that.
I have no idea.
That's when you cross your eyes and stick.
Holy shit, he did. Oh. Hey, isn't this that like a Higao face with the porn thing with like the tongue out and the peace signs? I don't watch anime. I don't know. I'm just a K-pop. I'm a K-pop star. I do K-pop.
Got your tongue.
Oh, really? Well, my eyes are
You don't
wide
know
open.
about that?
My eyes are wide open. I do
Hold on,
watch
hold on,
anime,
hold
but I
on,
don't
hold
know.
Open.
You don't know about the Higo face?
He's definitely
No.
doing that.
I don't believe you. Come on.
He also kind of looks like a pug mix. He kind of looks like a, I mean, like, I hate to say it, but he looks like if a pug was drawn by the like author of One Piece, but was then animated in a feature length animation film by like Studio Trigger. You know what I mean? It's just. If we're gonna be talking about anime, yeah, you've been pugified. He looks like the result of multiple generations of unethical anime girl breeding operations.
No, I watch anime. Like I watch Attack of the Titans.
That's
and stuff,
straight
but I'm
cap,
not.
my
Attack of the Titans.
This is it, and you can see the resemblance, right? Here's the Ahigo face.
Go on.
It's like a hentai reference. But
Okay.
but you see the resemblance, right?
Can you put them side by side?
Sure, yeah, I'd be happy to.
I mean, that's quite a cute drawing.
Right, but that's like a woman like
You what?
orgasming is what that is.
Well,
Or like
Well, that's not
lustful.
what I
It's like a lustful kind of sexual gratification.
Ethan, you're
face.
really clutching at straws.
Am
I'm
I?
literally like, I've got my eyes open. I'm doing the peace sign. And
What
you're
is-
trying to-
I mean, the eyes are open there as well.
This
That-
meme is very real.
Honestly, the more I'm looking at him, the closer it actually is to like actually unironically being at one singular Ahigo. Cute? Bro, that's porn. He said, I mean, that's a cute picture. That's porn.
Dissect it and say,
Baby boy?
Yes, honestly.
Right. It just seems to me that even as a trans person, you shouldn't be exposing kids to that. It seems like you're shoving gender ideology down kids' throats by selling them a lunchbox with a trans woman on it. You don't see my point at all? You don't get it?
No, I don't. You know, I would see your point completely if, for instance, it had a
If I had my dick and balls out, which is literally every single drag show, just so you know.
Messaging on there, like some political, because I don't think kids should be exposed to politics either. Political or gender ideology message. If that was on there, that'd be different. If it was a sexually suggestive image, but this is literally an innocent cartoon. I've got my eyes open. I'm doing the peace sign. You could not get innocent. What do I need to do, Ethan, like to please people? Do I have to like close my eyes?
Well, I personally don't necessarily have a problem. What is your fascination with the eye wideness? I haven't said anything about that.
About what? Sorry.
You said, what do I have to close my eyes? I didn't know what that meant. You kept mentioning about like the eye wideness of how wide it is. I don't know why you keep bringing that up.
No, I'm just saying that, look, in the picture, my eyes, it's not even me, by the way, it's a cartoon, but the eyes are very wide open.
It's not even me. It's just a cartoon of me.
What's wrong with having my eyes open? Like, we're human beings. We have to have our eyes open.
Why
like, would it be better if I close my eyes?
All right, then. I think we got to the end of... Oh, no! No! Reference. For you didn't seem to get reference A, so we brought reference B, C, and D here.
Popular culture with the Ahigo face. It's like kind of an e-girl thing. You're probably aware of that.
Well, I'm not an e-girl, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, okay. But you're on the internet, and it's from anime.
You're not e-girl anymore.
Okay, but let's move on.
I do know anime and stuff. I don't know anything to do with that pose. Literally, I've got my.
Didn't they just say didn't he just say I don't watch anime? Anyways, let's get forward a little bit.
I just used to have all those things that left me with traumas. So it kind of messed up my head. And as an adult,
let's see.
From when I was being bullied for what I was doing, and I was really mentally struggling. Had a lot of mental health struggles based on a variety of issues, which I talk about in my book. From when I was being bullied very severely as a kid, I was always told I was like ugly, or I looked like a monster, or I was more feminine, or I had man boobs. I just used to have all those things that left me with trauma. So it kind of messed up my head.
Bullied.
As an adult, I didn't deal with that in the way that I should have. I should have had therapy. I should have spoke to someone. Instead, it was almost like self-harming. So all this crazy surgery was me kind of lashing out at the bullies, and it was very, very destructive for me and for other people. So I'm glad to be over that.
Do you think that people who are bullied are at a higher chance of becoming trans?
Yes, definitely. So I talk about this in my book. There's a lot of studies. There was a study in Finland by the top transgender clinic that was basically transitioning a lot of kids, and they said around 45% of the kids had experienced severe bullying. So that led to their gender dysphoria identity. But there's also the other side.
Your theory is that the bullying leads to the dysphoria, not the dysphoria leading to the bullying, which would be more logical.
You are gay because you got bullied. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry to tell you this now, but you are gay because you got bullied. They bullied you into being gay. So you should fix that sometime. Sorry. Yes, gay kids are bullied a lot. It must be because they get bullied is why they're gay. I'm just so fucking smart.
I was just about to say as well, but there is also the flip side of that, where the kids are being bullied because of their identity, because maybe a boy is more feminine or a girl is more like a tomboy. So they're also being bullied for that. But in certain studies, the one in Finland at Tampere University, they found that there was a significant correlation between a kid being bullied and then the onset of their gender dysphoria coming afterwards rather than before. But, of course, it works both ways. Let's see here.
Wait. Do you mean it's just like I'm 99%. I haven't seen this study before, but I'm 99% sure he's quoting it wrong. What he said is that this study just found that if you get bullied, then there's a higher likelihood of you having gender dysphoria when you're older. What I think it really says is that kids who are bullied when they're younger typically are more likely to, when they grow up, get a gender dysphoria diagnosis, which I think is way different in the implications of those two things, because one is saying one probably causes the other, and the other one is saying that, yeah, these kids probably, the exact thing that he was talking about before is that the boy was acting feminine or the girl was acting masculine, and so they got bullied for that. And then when they actually finally went to the fucking doctor, they realized what was actually going on outside of the bullying, because kids just bully because they like to bully.
I have that theory you're citing in front of me.
Tampere University, Finland.
Wait, they have? He has it?
Let's read the conclusion.
He has it? Oh my god! Oh my gosh! I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. What the fuck? Holy shit! Oh, he's getting mugged. Holy shit! He's getting mugged. He already had it. He had it in his fuckwad documents. He came with the whole goddamn binder. This is crazy. He pre-watched. He did. You're right. He pre-watched. Even this Ethan guy, he pre-watched. That's not fair.
Here, there's the abstract and everything. Let's see. The conclusion says gender identity, especially non-binary identity, is associated with both being bullied and perpetrating bullying, even when a...
I knew there was something wrong with some of you, okay? I see what some of you all are like on like Twitter or like Instagram or Facebook or some shit like that. I knew you guys were bullies as fuck. Okay? Let's be honest with ourselves. You guys are bullies. Crazy bullies. You can't even hide from it because since I've been scrolling on the Bird app, there's so many people who are like, I would have bullied the person that I am right now like 5 years ago. And I'm just like, why? Why would you do that? And it's true. It's true. Y'all are crazy bullies. Yeah, he's got that go gadget. So go gadget, clear out a bitch. And your next line will be
range of variables, including internal stress and involvement in bullying and the opposite role, are taken into account. This suggests that bullying during adolescence may serve as a mechanism of maintaining heteronormality, which I think what that means
is associated with both bullying and being bullied. A range of variables, including internal stress and involvement in bullying and the opposite role that are taken into account. This suggests that bullying during adolescence may serve as a mechanism of maintaining heteronormativity. So yeah, like you bullied the people who are like you to feel like you're a part of like the in group, to reject the part of you that says that you're not actually one of them. And apparently he thinks that this makes you trans.
Is that the bullying actually results in people rejecting their transness in favor of heteronormality. So it seems to be saying the opposite actually of what you've claimed it said. Do you see what I'm referring to? Heteronormality?
Yeah, no, I see that. I see that article. That, you know, if you actually read the full study.
That's not an article, that's a study.
That's the conclusion.
You can find it on the National Institute of Health.
Oh no, this is the study. Yeah, this is. Yeah, no, this is the study. It's
what did he think he was reading?
Finland, yeah.
Yeah, this is it. And then this is the author's conclusion right there. I mean, that's pretty much that. This is the one you're talking about. Do you disagree?
Yes, but the study's also saying it's associated with being bullied and being the perpetrator. So it's basically saying that either
but the message. This is the last sentence. So let's read this together carefully. Mm-hmm. It suggests that bullying during adolescence may serve as a mechanism of maintaining heteronormality.
Normativity.
So, do we understand what that says?
No, I get what it's saying. It's basically saying that some of these kids that are being bullied will maintain their original identity because of the...
No, he's stupid. Oh, he's dumb. Oh, he's really dumb. Okay. All right, I see. I get it. I get it how he fell down this rabbit hole now. He's stupid. All right.
Bullying, correct. But no, I get what it's saying. It's basically saying that some of these kids that are being bullied will maintain their original identity because of the bullying, correct. But the study also, if you read the full study, the study also speaks, there's a high correlation between, there's two different findings in the study. There's a finding that around 45% of the kids are bullied, and that causes the gender dysphoria. And there's also a part of the study which also says, like the conclusion is finding that some of these kids are bullied because of their gender dysphoria, and it makes it worse. So there's two.
No, that's not. You can't read. What in the world? You're British. Your country made the language we're using right now. Why can't you use it? Why can't you use it?
Like, if two outcomes are possible, then it doesn't seem that interesting. I wonder why you bring it up.
Well, no, read the full study. It also talks about the correlation between autism.
I mean, this is the author. They wrote the conclusion right here. This is their...
That's a small summary on Yahoo
That's
News.
The author. That's the author. That's their conclusion.
Correct.
Right.
But if you read in the National
Institute... Who better to draw a conclusion than the author of the study?
Him.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I've read the full study multiple times on the National Institute of Health. Mm-hmm.
Do you think that if bullying prevents people from becoming According to this, bullying prevents more kids from transitioning. Do you believe that we need more bullying?
No, I'm an advocate against
No.
bullying. I think whoever gets bullied, it's so wrong. I've been bullied myself, and I'm an advocate.
But if
for trying to
bullying
stop that.
results in
Nobody
less
deserves to be bullied.
transitioning, then that, according to what you're saying, is the best outcome for these kids.
No, I don't agree at all. No kid, even if a kid is feminine or a girl is a tomboy, they should not get bullied. No one should get bullied. They should be provided with support. But if somebody wants to transition, I'm not against people transitioning. I just don't think it's right as a kid, because a lot of these kids are going through so many issues during that time. They are not in the right frame of mind to make an informed consent decision.
If a child is
It is true. I think Ollie probably should have been bullied more as a kid. It may have helped what we're going through now. I'm joking. I would never say that.
suicidal, do you believe that they should transition to save their life?
So there's a lot of clinics and doctors that use this argument. There's a clinic called Kaiser Permanente in California.
Kaiser Permanente.
Yes, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, so basically they have used with
Holy shit, wait. How much research have they done? Wait. Wait, Ethan mispronounces things all the time. How do you get that right? Yo, guys, I'd be so scared if I brought up something like that, because that is pretty niche. That is some pretty niche anti-trans lore right there. Kaiser Permanente. I would be kind of shook if he knew that and corrected me on it. I'd be a little worried.
multiple people that have since detransitioned, Chloe Cole and Layla, another detransitioner. They basically told them your kids are going to commit suicide if you don't transition them. But what they said afterwards is they actually felt worse 6 months down the line after their transition, because they've got hormones in their body, they've got puberty blockers, and they even had double mastectomy.
That the vast majority.
Wait a second. They've got hormones and puberty blockers. Wait, is it like are you trying to do like the transgender like body version of a fucking burnout? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like they're taking estrogen and they're taking puberty blockers at the same time. Skeet! Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good.
Majority of people that transition don't regret it. I think it's like 95%.
It's actually
9%.
Actually higher than that. Yeah, around there.
You don't hear the cases of the detransitions.
Are you aware, Ollie, that 99% of kids that transition do not regret it?
No, I don't support that statistic. I think it's wrong because
I don't support statistics. I don't support that. Like, well, I don't really care what you support. I don't care if you think it's real or not real. It is real. And that is a wild thing to say. I don't support that statistic. That is incredible. I kind of want to, they should grab that. That's a remarkable soundbite. I will say, I don't support that statistic.
From what authority do you disprove that statistic?
Well, look, these clinics make these studies. They don't even do follow-up studies. There's an example of a
Do you not trust studies?
Because
you just told me to read one.
Look, what I'm saying is the gender clinics make billions of dollars every year. Their studies are skewed and biased.
In a review of 27 studies involving almost 8,000 teens and adults with transgender surgeries,
I was looking
mostly
at this
in Europe,
the other
US,
day.
and Canada, 1% on average expressed regret. For some, regret was temporary, but a small number went on to detransition. But that's 1%. That seems like a very small.
Hey, remember when Ollie literally said mere moments ago that they don't do follow-up studies, even though even get the number that the kids thought that their transition was good would be to follow up? How can you figure out that like there's little regret when in like a study that they like both said are true, or like they are following up, but then he says they're not following up any? Which one is it, brother? You got to pick one.
Amount to be singularly focused on. And this is 27 studies, so this is a massive kind of conclusion, right?
It's a meta study.
A scientific conclusion, a consensus, if you would.
Yes, but what I'm saying is there's a clinic, for instance, Tavistock Clinic, which was the main clinic in the UK. They were actually exposed. They were doing studies as well. They weren't bothering to check with the detransitioners. They didn't bother to check with the detransition. They didn't check how the hormones were affecting them over
you're talking about. That English one for yeah. So that one, if I recall, I looked into that. I believe it was people say it was shut down. It was actually, wasn't it?
Being shut down, right? But still open.
They're actually making a bigger one so they can serve more needs. So it's not really being shut down actually.
Oh, it's that British gender clinic, right? Like they said that the British I think I remember the story. It's been a while. So this is like old school old school, like a year, 2 years ago, maybe even a couple more years ago, like trans lore. But these people think that trans people were invented by the DCCC, under, Washington, in 2016 to make Republicans look bad. So to them, like, yeah, all of this is pretty new. But basically what happened, if I remember correctly, is that some studies were coming out, or like some research was coming out from this one gender clinic in England, and then conservatives ran with like a statistic or two that like some young ones are there like getting consultation on possibly moving forward on like medical transition sometime in the future. And then the entire clinic shut down, and they said that they got shut, and the conservatives ran with the idea that they got shut down because they're like evil and transgendering children, when in all actuality they got shut down. Well, they didn't get shut down. They shut down because they were building a bigger gender clinic, because they were like, we need to trans more gender. There's a lot of gender in this country and we need to serve all of it. Yeah, it's wild how that works out.
Say the name again. What is it?
It's called Tavistock.
Tavistock. Yeah.
So that one's actually being shut down this year because basically the National Health Service, which is basically looks after all the hospitals in the UK for the government, they actually said that there were a lot of ethical violations and stuff, and they also changed their policy based on what happened at that clinic via internal investigations. They found that many of these kids were being pushed to transition without having checks on their mental health, and they're basically being pushed into it in fast track very quickly.
Do you think it's significant, though, that of the patients, of the actual people who transition, only 1% regret it? You're not acknowledging that?
No, I don't trust studies.
Why?
Even if you're
27 studies. Then why did you tell me to read this one, Ollie? You use studies when it's convenient for you, but you don't when it goes against your thesis. I don't understand your consistency with studies. Do we like them or no?
What I'm trying to say, Ethan, is the gender clinics are very, very powerful.
Do we? No, Ollie, do we like studies or not? All studies or no studies?
I like studies.
Oh, we do.
No, I like.
I like them. I like them. I'm just going to say all of these studies are bad because they don't say what I want them to say, even though I haven't looked at any of them yet. I'm so proud of Ethan. He is really doing a great job here. I'm not going to lie. Like every single time they bring some of these people on, he kind of tears them apart. They do a lot of work. The crew does like a great job, honestly, on like the research for these things. I haven't seen them. When Ethan's just allowed to talk by himself, it goes kind of well. It goes better than honestly I really expect. I don't expect nothing from him, but he's just a guy at the end of the day. But yeah, he definitely does a great job with these. I think Hassan preps him. There's a reason, honestly, why I said that when Ethan's allowed to speak alone, things typically go well. Because I don't know. Because like thinking about the last time, like Hassan and Ethan were like there talking to somebody, like kind of in this format, it was like Richard Wolff, and like we all know how that went. So.
But you have to always look at bias. The clinic in Finland was a transgender clinic that made the study. So they had different findings to many of the clinics in America that are saying there's a low detransition rate. But there are thousands of detransitioners out there. They're just not sharing their stories because of fear of being attacked. And, they get abuse every single day from trans activists. So there's thousands of kids out there there's 50,000 detransitioners on a Reddit subreddit forum speaking about detransitioning, but they're scared to come out and talk about it because they're going to get attacked. So there's a lot of people.
I'm sorry, but like the study isn't Twitter. They're like, so what is he thinking, that everybody's just lying? It's actually not 99% love the transition. It's actually 99% hate the transition, but they won't say anything about it. They just lie on everything. And that's why I know, because I don't want them to like it. So I feel more correct in my political opinions.
Hiding.
You seem to be in denial, Ollie, that the vast, vast majority of these people, let's say there's a bias. Let's say instead of 1%, it's 10% regret it. And that's a huge deviation. So I'm giving you a lot of doubt here. If 10% only regret it, do you think that on whole of the 90% who don't regret it and who have what they consider life-changing health care, why would you seek to deny them life-changing health care? When Ethan, they say this saved my life.
Well, Ethan, children can't get tattoos. Children can't buy cigarettes or buy alcohol. So how on earth can they?
Children can get leukemia treatment, though. and children can get their wisdom teeth removed, and children can get, you know, eye surgery, and children can get vaccines, and children can get like an EKG and an like an MRI, and you know, children can get a lot of stuff. Children get surgeries all the time, actually.
Consent to doing something they don't even understand about. We have to look at many of these kids. They don't understand. They don't think about the future. Like if a kid,
I'm not gonna lie, it seems like the only person in the room who doesn't understand is not like the doctor or the parent or the child. Honestly, it seems like it's Ollie from how this conversation has gone.
it changes their body, they have gender reassignment surgery or take hormones, they might not be able to have a baby when they're older. They don't think about those things because they're kids. So the issue is just, we shouldn't be doing this to kids. It should happen, you know, as an adult, they can make informed consent. But even with some of the parents agreeing
Ollie,
to it.
Do you know how many kids between the age of 6 and 17 went through irreversible surgery in the United States?
I know the number rises every year. Now it will be several thousand.
So the number of patients, of children between 6 and 17 who went through irreversible surgery in the United States, what was the years on that one?
It's 3 years, 2019 through 2021.
So this is the most comprehensive data we have, and this comes straight from the government stats. It was 250 per year. Does that seem
why are they so far off every single time? Millions to couple thousand to actually it's just 100. Actually, it's just like maybe 200. That is just remarkable to me. That is crazy to me.
Significant to you?
That's completely incorrect because there's a clinic in Oregon.
Listen, he's the trans general, okay? He knows. He's the gender general. You don't get it. He knows where all of the gender goes. He can see it. He can smell it. Less than a thousandth of a percent. Oh, it's so good.
It's in the thousands now. There's a clinic in Oregon that's done at least
the thousands. Is that significant? 1,000? I mean,
but 300 when? In like its entire existence? Or do you mean 300 like yesterday? There's a clinic in Oregon that did at least 300. Maybe 300 in their entire like existence, not 300 a year.
We have 50 million children in the United States. Do you think 1,000 is statistically significant?
There's thousands, and this study probably only takes into account people on Medicaid or Medicare. There are also the parents and patients that pay out of pocket.
So even if it's thousands, Ollie, let's say it's thousands. Is this significantly significant when we have 51 million children in the United States between ages 6 and 17?
It's significant even because it's growing every day. If you look at any chart or graph of kids being medically transitioned, it's now in the tens of thousands across the US. California has thousands alone. Florida, before Governor DeSantis banned, there's a clinic, Dr. Gallagher, who performs at least five surgeries on minors every month. So you know that's
5 a month. Wow, 5 a month, you say?
Before Governor DeSantis banned, there's a clinic, Dr. Gallagher, who performs at least 5 surgeries.
Dr. Gallagher, bro, that's a game from like the 70s. What are you talking about? Dr. Gallagher, five surgeries a month. Expert plastic surgeon from Miami. Is there literally anything on this anywhere? 5 surgeries on minors a month. What kind of surgeries? I swear, bro, if this guy is like a dentist and what he's referring to is like wisdom tooth extraction, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I'm looking this up. Okay, wait, let me see if I can find anything on this at all. Miami surgeon performs top surgery on 15-year-old. Report says. Yeah, that's about the time when you can get a top surgery. That is true. Wait, let's see. ABC. Okay, let's take a look. But one doctor in Florida providing gender-affirming pediatric services, Dr. Gallagher, has decided not to mince words and is going to offer minor patients a recent mince words. This is such a the way that this article is written shows a lot of bias. This is a good thing that we can look at for we got another media literacy class on our hands, everybody. Okay, pay attention. The fact that they put gender affirming in quotation marks, that's literally what these surgeries are called. This is the actual like definition of the word. So the fact that they put it in quotation marks makes no sense. It's like putting dog in quotation marks when talking about like a golden retriever. It makes no sense. It's just nothing. It says they've decided not to mince words when it comes to what she offers her minor patients. The way that this is written as well, like it's like you gotta mince words for what we're talking about. Imagine like, yeah, I'm not the lunch lady isn't mincing words when talking about how your kid can pick up a slice of pizza at the lunch table at lunch. Like, what are you talking about? Like framing it as an idea where you need to mince words or something. A recent article in the New York Times indicated that Gallagher provides top surgeries or a procedure in which the child's breasts are removed to multiple trans youths at the age of 15 every month. To multiple trans youths around the age of 15 every month, despite being in clear violation of the state's health department guidelines where she practices. Well, sometimes they do top surgeries. All right. Okay. What do experts know? Nothing, because they disagree with me.
5 surgeries on minors every month. So, that's just one clinic.
Can you cite
so
those
it's in the
numbers? Is it possible to get a reference?
Dr. Gallagher is a clinic in Florida, and she operates on minors.
Okay. In the whole that time, I'm sure you know that, right?
Yeah, of course, because it became more acceptable.
What is the difference between the hysteria that took place then about there was, on the right, that they're turning our kids gay? That turned out not to be true. You agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. So hold on to that. So now today, we see the same graph going up of trans kids getting surgery or gender affirming care or whatever. So why is it that you today can draw a conclusion that was the same conclusion in the 50s that you disagree with, that trans kids are being influenced societal to become trans? It seems to be a glaring contradiction in logic.
It's not just random based on the fact that it's easier for people to come out these days or identify in different ways. It is a concerted push, Ethan. So there's now
That's what
over
they said
60,
about gay people.
Ethan, there's now over 60 pediatric gender clinics that have opened within the last 15 years across the US. They weren't there before, so they are have opened within the last. Ethan, there's now over 60 pediatric gender clinics that have opened within the last 15 years across the US.
60 have opened in 15 years. I don't even need to fact check that, bro. Who cares? Bro, who cares? Okay? It seems like they're needed. Gender clinics getting plopped down don't invent trans people existing. They pop up because they're needed. And watch this Onion video? Nah. But I appreciate you though. All right, then. Shit is remarkable. Wait, let's watch a little bit more of this and then we can move on. But this is wild.
They weren't there before, so they are profiting from this. They're opening clinics because they know they can profit. But when they push, through popular culture or push transitioning via TikTok trends, they are profiting from that. So it benefits
TikTok
them if
trends
society and children are being confused and indoctrinated in schools or via social media because they can get more patients through their door.
So that's good, but let's focus on this issue that I want to nail down. They said that gay kids were being influenced to be gay. You disagree with that now, and you're one of the people that says kids are being influenced to become trans, and it's the same curve. How do you not? Why is that curve not just the result of it becoming more acceptable in society? Because it's the same curve, right? Same curve.
It's a huge curve, and it's really in the last 5 years since TikTok
really
came
big
about.
curve.
We're seeing so many. There's about 2.2 billion people.
What does it matter how they become aware of it? I'm telling you, it's the same curve.
What I'm trying to tell you is that there are influences now that didn't exist 10 years ago that are pushing kids. So, for instance, TikTok, there's about 2.2.
So TikTok is turning people trans, where back in the 50s, people said it was like rock and roll music, it was movies, it was hippie movements.
It was the rock and roll
accessible to the
music.
generation before them. I don't see the difference.
What I'm saying is that kids are being exposed to influences that they didn't have before.
Same in the
if kids
50s.
are being on. Sorry?
The same in the 50s. The kids who were coming out as gay were also exposed to things that weren't accessible to generations before them.
Well, I don't agree with that. They didn't have phones back then. Kids are now being.
I don't agree with that because they didn't. I knew phones, like a cellular phone and a smartphone, were really important to humans, but I didn't think they were so important that you literally couldn't have new experiences without one. Do you guys know that? New experiences only happen on the phone. That is wild to me.
Being push trends and the
Is that why you guys watch on mobile?
A kid's vulnerabilities.
Well,
and they push videos.
music, popular music.
Yeah, music.
Pop music. Pop music was something that was rock and roll was something that was new back then. So
no, correct. And you could also argue that in the 80s more people came out because music like George Michael was and songs about freedom.
So
and
then
stuff
why are you
out
concluding that TikTok is making people trans? I don't understand the logic. You just contradicted yourself.
No. What I'm saying is in the last 5 years, there is an increase in gender clinics opening because they are exploiting these children that are being pushed trends. There's a lot of lobby groups, Ethan. The Human Rights Campaign is a massive lobby group. They're going around.
Oh, you were trans before.
Guys, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed this, but like human rights is like a really massive and powerful lobbying group. And their effect is seen far and wide.
TikTok.
I've struggled with gender dysphoria for all of my life.
TikTok.
Correct, yes, but my identity struggles came about because I was using social media too much. And
but you were born in 1990. You're not that much younger than me. When I grew up, there was no social media. I don't believe you probably had social media until you were in your 20s, well into your 20s.
Oof.
Yeah, correct. And the reason I struggled with
Wait, how old is this guy? Wait, oh yeah, isn't this guy like 40 or something? Oily London. Wait, how old is this guy? He's 31. What the fuck? Wait, no, he's like 34. What? Yo! What the hell? Geezer build, bro. What the fuck? You're doing this at 34? Bro, grow up. I'm begging you to grow up. I'm on my knees. I'm pleading for you to grow up. I'm begging you. I'm 33. Yeah, and you wear it well. He doesn't. 33 old boo soldier. 30 I'm depressed now. 33 isn't that old, okay? It's too old to be doing this. No matter what you think. It's way too old to be doing whatever this is, right? Okay. Can we agree on that, chat? To the Giga Zoomers, to the mid 30-year-olds, can we agree on one thing? Which is that he's too old to be pulling shit like this. This is cringe of a young person, right? He's way too damn old to be doing this. Thank you. I'm glad. Absolutely. Okay. I'm glad that we at least can agree on that.
My identity was because of bullying in childhood, but then I only transitioned as an adult.
Bullying in childhood, we established from the report that you told me to read that bullying in childhood results in less people transitioning.
Sorry, say it again.
The study you sent me about bullying, the conclusion was that bullying results in less people transitioning. So you says it's a result of social media. Well, you didn't have social media. Then you says it was a result of bullying. But this study you told me to read says bullying reduces the amount of people who transition. So how is it that you were trans before, outside of all of these influences that are turning people trans?
Well, firstly, I'm an individual, so I'm one person. So my experience is not reflective of every single person that becomes trans out there.
That's crazy. Then why do you keep talking about it? Almost like somebody cares. That's remarkable.
But the thing is, I became trans as an adult because I really struggled with my identity throughout my whole life. And yes, I did get bullying. Every case is different as well. Some people are bullied because of their gender identity. Some people are not. So every single case is different. But the reason I became trans was, you follow my journey, the career and stuff. That was me trying to find myself and trying to, fit in because I hated the way I looked.
If your journey is a personal one, which I totally understand, then what gives you the right to project your personal experience onto others?
Well, I speak to detransitioners every day. I speak to parents. I speak to women.
So that assumes a bias, Ollie.
Hello, women.
You're talking all day to detransitioners. We've also established, because we, I think, like studies, or I don't know if we decided, I think you said you like studies, because 27 of them made a consensus that 99% of people that transition don't regret it. So if you spend all day talking to the 1% that do regret it, don't you believe that underlies a bias?
Well, no, I don't believe it because I talk to all sorts of people. I talk to parents that have trans kids and, they're trying to navigate through that. And the general consensus with everyone I speak to, because, I'm not right wing or left wing. I'm just very much in the center. I'm just trying to help people.
I'm not right wing or left wing. I just hate trans people.
The general consensus is we shouldn't be doing this to kids. And there generally is a concerted push over the last 5 years to medically transition children. If kids want to experiment, if a girl wants to be a tomboy, nobody has a problem with that. If they want to become trans as an adult, that's on them. But the issue that I talk about every day, I talk with parents, I talk with all these detransitions, is when this happens to kids. That's the issue I'm speaking about.
Right, but that's not
about people being trans.
Let me ask you another question, just to pivot a little bit. I'm one of the people that would say Ollie London is willing to do anything for attention. You have probably some kind of, I don't want to diagnose you, I'm not a psychiatrist, but there is some
mentally ill
craving for attention, clearly, right? Good or bad. I mean, you said about like Korean, you said your pronouns were Korean, you said you were going to get your penis size reduced so that you could look more, you could be a more authentic Korean. I mean, these are not serious things. You seem to be a provocateur. Is it possible that you are participating in this right-wing grift because, one, it's making you a lot of money, and two, it's getting you a lot of attention? Is that possible that you actually don't care and that your beliefs are empty? Is that possible?
No, absolutely not. So when I struggled with my identity for years, I generally was struggling and I was lashing out at bullies. And the more I would get bullied online by YouTubers and people on TikTok, the more I would act crazy because I was trying to feel validated and loved. And it was very unhealthy.
The conservative movement has offered you quite an open lucrative deal. They're very glad to be using you as a mouthpiece against trans people. So it must feel good to be being accepted from somebody, even if it is at the detriment of many people who are at risk.
Look at his face. You know what? God should set up a candid camera, like a hidden camera at the pearly gates, so we can see people's faces when he tells them they're going to hell. Cause I'm 99% sure when it's Ollie's turn, he'll be given this exact same face as our boy is reading off all of his sins. He's destroying him. He's actually obliterating him. Yeah, pearly gate fail cam. He thought he was getting in.
Trans people. It must feel nice to have people supporting you.
No, it's nothing to do with that at all. I could have easily continued doing K-pop. I could have focused on TikTok, which, I used to really enjoy doing TikTok. I'm not the best singer. I like to make fun, entertaining videos. I could have stuck with that. In actual fact, when I detransitioned, I lost so many brand deals. I lost all my invites to New York Fashion Week. I was front row.
Yeah, but now you're on Tucker Carlson.
I'm actually shocked that he was even allowed to be there in the first place. The fact that he was even invited to any of these places proves how little big business actually cares about minorities.
I mean, that's the biggest show in the world, or it was. Rest in peace to the GOAT.
R.I.P.
Yeah, he was the original GOAT. But no, it's nothing to do with that. No.
So you say it's not possible that you are just doing this for attention. If we go back, here's a recording of you saying that you're using the BLM movement for attention and for cameos. Here, listen.
Millions. So it's basically every time I do a music video, it's like, if it's £1 million, it's £1,000. So if I just keep releasing music videos, that's like enough. And then also because I've been a lot on Twitter, there's been so many people talking about me on Twitter because I'm supporting the Black Lives Matter and protests and stuff. So I had 200,000 views on the video. So because of that as well, I'm getting a lot of requests. So it's just, I'm just staying relevant in the news, on TV and stuff, because, the more exposure I have, if I'm trending on Twitter or whatever on TV, then the more cameos I get. So yeah,
So here you say,
holy shit, what the fuck? I didn't know bro had the Grifter audio. He had the Grifter audio. Yo, what? That's crazy. Those fuckers are so dumb, right? Can you imagine? Hey guys, so so I don't believe anything that I'm doing, and I've guys, dude, you won't believe it. They actually thought that I care about these Negroes, bro. Yo, I put on the pussy hat, and they were all fawning over me. You don't even get it. You don't even get it. These bitches were like, go talk, bro. The only thing that's talking is that money, bro. You don't even understand. Anyways, I'm so glad I can piggyback off of anything to make a dollar. I'll catch you at the bank, okay? Stay frosty. I know I will. That's fucking nice. I would never. If I was fleecing you guys, bro, for one, I'd be doing a bad job at it. And two, I don't know, bro. I am shocked. I am confuzzled how you would leave the, hey, just so you know, I'm a huge Grifter audio laying around.
You're supporting BLM to stay relevant and because it gets you more cameos. Have you been getting more cameos since you went right wing?
Yes.
Well, firstly, that audio was from a number of years ago. It was edited deceptively by somebody that was completely uncredible and just basically desperate for attention.
It's your voice, correct?
It's my voice, but it was edited deceptively to try and make me look bad.
So what's the deception?
What happened?
So I'm not doing any of this. What I'm doing now is to try and help people. You know, previously.
Oh, okay. Okay. The freaking. Oh, I've never seen somebody dodge so quickly in my entire life. Just like he should be maybe his next thing is he should be maybe a lineman. Who knows? But that footwork, it's crazy.
Ethan, I'll admit it. Previously, I had some very
tell me it's
unhealthy behavior.
deceptive. I'm open to hearing you out. How is it deceptive?
I'm explaining. So, you know, previously I had unhealthy behavior where I was generally like thinking, oh, how many likes can I get? How many views can I get? Because I was in a really crazy mental health place. And, you know, the more surgery I would get, I would feel worse about myself. So I would try and be validated by online views and things. But in fact, you know,
unlike
talking
now.
to BLM, actually, no, I'm not doing it now. If I wanted to, Ethan,
which is why you're on the show.
No, if I wanted to get attention and stuff, I would stick to doing TikToks. I would stick to doing.
Well, he's not on Tucker anymore. Nobody's on Tucker anymore. So, you know.
K-pop music.
You're getting a lot more attention right now. I mean, you're getting a lot of attention right now. In fact, you wrote a whole damn book about it, Gender Madness.
Well, what I'm doing now is because I've actually come to a realization that I have had some very unhealthy behaviors in the past, and I'm trying to remedy that. You know, because I can't sleep at night when I think, you know, have I done something bad? Have I been a bad influence? So
you think him and Milo are dating? Think they know each other? What do you guys think? Wait, I can't say that because Milo's husband is black, right? Milo likes that BBC, so I forgot. Oh yeah, they can after Oily got his like penis reduction surgery. I forgot about that. Oh, that's anyways.
Actually trying to remedy
the most toxic relationship.
If that's what you're concerned about, you're going to feel really bad when your next phase comes around and you realize that you're the mouthpiece for really hateful people.
Ethan, it's not a phase, and I'm not a mouthpiece for anyone. I'm literally just trying to speak up about issues that I have finally woken up to see what's going on in the world.
It seems to me that if we look at all of your different iterations of your personality, the one consistent thing is a need for attention.
Well, you could say that about Trisha Paytas, who was your best friend and you used to do a podcast.
Oh, I do say that. I mean, I would say that about Trisha Paytas, sure. Are you like Trisha Paytas?
Identities, but she had a wake-up call, and then she realized that, you know, she could be an influence to others, and she's really a positive gal. She's doing amazing things at the moment. And you know,
Trisha was a chicken nugget, I believe. Do you empathize with that, Ollie, as a former trans person?
Ethan, I'm vegetarian, so I wouldn't empathize with her being
So you're saying you're
nugget.
like
I transitioned
congratulations on that.
From bad bitch to chicky nuggy.
Ollie, do you believe you're like Trisha Paytas?
No, not at all. I'm not comparing myself to her. I'm just saying that she had a lot of identity struggles. She had some unhealthy behaviors. I had some unhealthy behaviors. I struggled, but I'm remedying that now. I'm working hard every day to try and be a better person, to try and help people. And that's what I'm focused on. So people can call me what they want. I'm not a mouthpiece for anyone. I'm literally trying to help.
Okay, let's pivot. Let's pivot. This came about when you found God, right? And you can fill in the blanks here. You were confused. You were a transgender woman. You were selling kids lunchboxes depicting a trans woman on it. That's
true.
Pretty low by your own definition.
That's
Then you were walking around and you found God. You entered a church and then you realized, hey, this is a cool vibe, maybe.
Well, no, actually, before that, I was starting to go to therapy. So basically.
All right. Oh, it's so good. All right. We can't watch all of this, but that is very funny. That is really, really funny. I haven't seen somebody get their ass beat that hard in quite some time, I will say. That is so good. Good job, Ethan. Good job. Yeah, Oily kind of got eviscerated. Wait 1 second. Come here. Come here. Oh. Hi. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.